Good morning, friends. 7 a.m., week 2, starting today. And this week we're going to be talking about cutting out things. Last week, if you didn't notice the theme, we were talking a lot about adding things like gratitude practice, high quality supplements, good veggies, working out, all these great things. And this week we're going to be talking about cutting things out. And so today I'm here live for Mindset Monday, and we're going to be talking about minimizing and cutting things out. And honestly, minimizing has been a journey for me, like most things are. And excuse me, my baby was up last night for a long time in the middle of the night. I'm so thankful for oils because he's been stuffy, and so we used some cardamom on his jammies, and I do a combination of lemon, lavender, thyme, melaleuca, and eucalyptus, and I add it to some boiling water, steaming water. Tyler got it all set up last night for him to help loosen up stuff in his nose. So anyways, that is why I'm a little extra sleepy this morning. I was planning on getting up at 5:45. That didn't happen. Anyways, so with tidying, it's been a journey for us, but we're so thankful. So I'll just give you an example of kind of our timeline. Before Elliot was born, we decided we were going to go through everything we had and just kind of eliminate stuff. We knew that we wanted our lives not to be about stuff, but instead be about the time and the space. The time and the space that we have together. And so I'm like so thankful that somehow we had that idea in our head. And really, I think that came from a place that I was just wanting to grow in that area. I've seen a lot of people in my life, names not to be named, of people that I love, but they are just like managing a lot of stuff. And it takes a lot of time to take care of stuff, whether it's a lot of clothes, or it's a lot of stuff in your kitchen, or it's a lot of hobby materials, whatever it is, it takes extra time to manage your stuff. And so I knew from life experience that I didn't want that to be me. And so some of the books that I read along the way, you've probably heard of these, are The Magic Art of Tidying Up. And then I haven't read all of this, but I've done some skimming for inspiration. It's called Simple Matters. And these books have been super helpful. Some parts, I mean, it's like any book, some parts you just dismiss because it maybe doesn't apply to you, but then there's been some parts that have been really good. So for all of you on live, have you already, do you already feel like you've started this process of minimizing, or is it something that you're interested in? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts too. So anyways, like I said, we first started by minimizing before Elliot was born. And then after he was born, again, we simplified when we moved down here to Texas. And that was like even more. We got rid of a lot of stuff. And for me, each time I went through my closet and was getting rid of more. And then when we were in Texas, again, I went through a process of more minimizing. And I've really, especially my clothes, I feel like I've honed in on the stuff that I really only need. And I'll just say that for us, things are going to be a little bit different than a lot of you on live here because we do live in an apartment. Just need less stuff because we don't have a big area to fill with furniture and things like that. But I think this still can be so good for like people that have a house too. And so after our call today, I'm going to share some ideas for podcasts, and then if you have Periscope, there's another great girl to follow on there that always shares really good ideas. There's also like people with YouTube channels talking about minimalism, all these different things. And the reality is anybody practicing minimalism is going to look a different way. It's not going to look the same for everybody, and that's totally okay, because the reality is like what's minimal to you looks different than what's minimal to me. And so what I suggest is really like going through different categories of your life and starting one at a time. And that's also what Marie Kondo recommends too in her book, The Magical Art of Tidying Up. For me, it really just started looking like going from room to room. But as you go from room to room, you're going to start noticing that you have certain categories that maybe don't make sense why you have some of the things that you have in certain rooms. And so you'll start like simplifying by categories helps a lot, because then you start noticing different things that you have spread around the house and how you can put those all in one area and start then eliminating by that category. So like an example is like the normal junk drawer that a lot of people have. You'll start noticing there's a ton of things in there that you don't really need to have in your junk drawer, that maybe just got thrown in there and really belong to be stored somewhere else. And the more you have your things categorized, the easier it's going to be able to simplify those things down to get rid of what you need to get rid of. And so also when you're going through by category, I suggest going through mementos and like special sentimental things, including pictures, last. It's one of the most overwhelming categories to go through. And it's really difficult to get rid of things in that category. And so I just suggest starting with the things that are easy, be nice to yourself, and do that last. So I'm just going to give you some practical examples. I feel like clothes is maybe the most applicable, the easiest thing to talk about because it applies to everybody. But when you're going through clothes, or anything in your house, asking yourself the question, does it spark joy, is a really awesome question. And so when you're asking yourself that question, does it spark joy, listening to that first intuitive answer that you have is really important. And so you'll notice, like, you'll answer the question, and if you're like me, then you're gonna be like, but what if this happens, but what if this happens, but what if I lose weight, but what if I gain weight with my next pregnancy, but what if that comes back in style, or what if I need that for a costume, or like you'll get all these what ifs. And even for me, I had items of clothes in my closet that I had bought and never worn. And you feel so guilty. You're like, why do I have these things? But I'm telling you that this process, like I said, I've went through my closet 3 times and got rid of stuff every single time. As I did that, it was amazing how much I learned about myself. I really started learning. I can't stop yawning. I've used some Motivate, but apparently I need something stronger like some peppermint. So anyways, when you're going through your closet, and you find stuff that you're trying to like convince yourself to keep, fighting that urge, is going to be really important. And the reason I've went through my closet 3 times is because I've had to fight that so much. And I've had to just learn to just get rid of stuff, because every time I went through, it's like I've had stuff that I've never worn, and it's been in there every single time I went through it, and I still am not wearing it. And the reality is, once I've freed myself of that stuff, it's really helped me to like finely tune what are the things that I do like wearing and what is my style. And that has been key, because now if I'm buying something, I really, really, really like am processing through, is this something that fits my style? Is this something that I'm going to wear a lot? Is this something that I've already like tried buying before, if you know what I mean? Like I like it on other people and I try to buy it, but then I never wear it. So an example for me is like, as I've gone through my clothes, I've discovered that bright colored clothes are just not something that I wear often. If you've seen me for the last like multiple years of my life. You know this is true. I wear neutral colors all the time. I never wear bright colors. And I've always known that I don't like the color pink, so I've never even messed around with buying that. But as I started going through my closet, I started realizing, wow, I really don't, I don't wear bright clothes. So like I would see something that was cute during the springtime when obviously everybody's wearing bright clothes, or the summer, and I'd think like, oh, I love that color on this person, and then I'd buy it, or maybe it was in style, and then I never wear it. And this would happen multiple times. But as I started forcing myself to purge, I started realizing all the stuff that I love and it really sparks joy and I really feel good in, they're all neutral colors. And that's okay. Like, that's just me. That's my personal style. That's what I feel best in. And really, honestly, I don't want to mess around wearing clothes during the day that I don't love on myself. And that was part of my journey too, even with like health related things. I wanted to wear clothes that I felt good in. So I love myself and my body even right now. And then as I lose weight, if I lose weight, then I will get different clothes. And that has happened for me in my journey. So anyways, an example is I have probably I did have 2 pairs of jeans that actually fit me, but I love them. And I wear them multiple times during the week. And then I have a pair of black, stretchy, amazing pants. Emily Paulson's in the house, and she knows how amazing they are because we have the same ones. And anyways, those 3 pairs of pants I wear so often. And so for me too, like part of the journey has been like getting rid of things when they don't fit anymore, getting rid of things when they're stretched out or they have holes in them or stains in them, like because I wear things just so often. But like I said, I'm really loving the things in my closet, and so it's been a journey. But now I'll post a picture later on here this week of what my closet looks like. In Texas, I've narrowed down to like the things that I want to wear over the winter season, and it is a very small chunk. And in my closet back here, I still have some other additional clothes that I just can't part way with. I really do like. But on a daily basis, when I get up in the morning, I want it to be super simple. So like getting dressed for me this morning was so easy because I have this brown sweater, my black shirt, my black pants. Like they're all like it's basically the top 10 outfits in my closet are right there. And so it's a no-brainer. I love this outfit. I put it on. I was chilly. It's a layered outfit. And it went on. So anyways, I hope that helps just in that specific area. Asking yourself the question, does it spark joy? And being real with yourself. So I do have a box of clothes that are specific for if I get pregnant again, then that's available. And then I have a Tupperware that has my summer capsule stuff in it that I don't wear during the winter time. So I do still rotate some clothes. But the important thing is I've done the work of getting them out of my closet, the summer things, because they're just cluttering my mind space every morning when I get dressed, and I don't want to waste time with that. So anyways, that's an example of going through a category. Another example is last night, it's post-Christmas, and Elliot has way too many toys, and every single night, like I'm in my living room, and right over here is his hub for his toys, and every single night we're like having to tidy all of them and like get them all back in their spot. And not that there always won't be a certain extent of that, but he doesn't even honestly like play with a lot of his toys. He just like pulls them all out and then he's done with them. And I want him to have like a smaller number of toys that he's playing with at a time so he can really like enjoy them and not be overwhelmed and overstimulated. And then I'll rotate them out with other toys. But I'm also like getting rid of some, like for example, he had like 5 toys in there that were like infant level toys that he never plays with anymore because they're not fun for him. And so anyways, those ones I put into a storage box with all the clothes that he's outgrown. And I do the same thing with his clothes. Like he really only has like, I don't know, like 10 tops because I wash laundry every single week on Tuesdays. And so we all have a minimal amount of clothes, so we're washing them every week, so we have the clothes that we need, and the same applies to him. So those are some examples with clothes. Then even doing the same with books, like going through and getting rid of according to like, are you really going to read this book again? Like, do you really love it? Books is another hard category for me because I love books. And I haven't say I've arrived here, but I think if I gave you a tour of my apartment, you would probably really see like how we've minimized. But again, it's easy to say like, oh, we live in an apartment, and so I don't want you to feel that way. One of the people I'll share with you on Periscope, she does have a home, a house, and it's totally doable. It's harder with children, I will say, but it's still doable. And I think the biggest thing is like processing through for you, what does it look like to minimize? What does it look like to only keep things that spark joy if possible? And obviously there's areas where that doesn't fit. You keep things just in case, that sort of thing. But all in all, it's been like so great. And I'll just give you some examples. We've been working on cleaning more frequently. And when we clean our floors now, it's completely different cleaning our floors because we're not moving all of these things to get to the spots that we need. And even like my different spaces, I don't feel like all the time I'm having to like quick put them in place before people come over, because most of our stuff is just like it's in its place and it's organized. And yeah, it's just like it's not stressful to put things back. We're not having to tidy every night, with the exception of Elliot's toys because we have a child. So I hope that maybe inspires you, hopefully encourages you. One more little testament about minimizing that I'll share is I've never been a very good house cleaner. I used to clean my parents' house all the time growing up. That was my chore, but I just like as an adult, I've never done a good job of like taking care of my own space. And what I've realized is in this journey of like trying to cultivate joy and really enjoy simplicity so we can really enjoy a relationship. Like I don't want to be managing stuff. Instead, I want to be having time in relationship. It all started like 2 years ago. My theme for the year was celebrate moments, not things. I'm like anybody, I suppose, and I love getting new things, but I wanted to start celebrating moments instead. And I did Christmas gifts revolving around time together and fun memories that we could have together instead of stuff. And anyways, that theme has kind of like translated over. And now this year I've talked to you guys about how we're trying to cultivate joy. Growth with gratitude is our theme for 2017. And in that, like, I'm learning, like, as I'm trying to cultivate joy, that, like, it's so fun to just celebrate the stuff that I already have. Like, we have a sweet Berkey water filter, and never once have I washed down the outside of it. It's our water filter. It's like this pretty silver thing that sits on our countertop, and I really like it. But I just don't take good care of it. And so like our kitchen doesn't like it doesn't always look the greatest. It doesn't look well taken care of. And so the other day I just quick went around, washed all of my counters with my all-purpose spray with doTERRA oils and the On Guard concentrate, and I love it. And then I was like, I need to just wash down the Berkey. And I get done and I look at my kitchen and I'm like, wow, like I just love this space. Like it inspires me. Makes me want to cook in here. It makes me want to be in here. And you just feel free when stuff is simple and there's not stuff everywhere. And again, I'm sharing this from a point where like we have been there, we've had stuff everywhere. Really when I transitioned to staying at home is when I started telling my husband that like I couldn't stand our apartment, because maybe you guys aren't like this, but I was just like cluttered all the time and it drove me nuts. Because I always felt like I had to do something. And whether or not you feel like that, like you have to do something, I know that the clutter does take up space in your mind. It does, like it just does, even if you don't have the urgency to actually do something about it. And so our challenge today is gonna be to clean one room or space that is overwhelming to you. Maybe you've been avoiding it, or maybe it's a space that you use often and it just needs to be taken care of. Last fall, I actually did this with one of my friends that's on this challenge, and we did our pantry because our spices were like out of control and we were just going crazy. And I was like, I need organization and I need to simplify. Like, I'm buying these spices in bulk and then using them once and never using them again, and they're sitting in my pantry. This is dumb. So, anyways, that whole process of simplifying and organizing my pantry was amazing. So what I will say is the more ruthless you are, the better in the long run. If you are ruthless, you won't have to tidy very often. But if you do it once and you get rid of kind of some stuff, you're going to have to do it again. And like the more ruthless you are, the more hard work you're doing on the inside to figure out like what stuff is actually important to you, what you actually need as a family. And then you're gonna become more ruthless with the stuff that you buy and you bring in your house. Like, my family thinks I'm kind of crazy because I just don't like meaningless stuff, even if it's free. Like, I don't like it coming in our house because it just clutters things, and then I have to do the tidying process again. That being said, I've already talked about like how it's a journey sometimes for some people. For me, it was more of a baby step than being ruthless right away. And so upstairs, we have an attic where our laundry room is in this apartment, and we have just a box. And I have just started collecting things that we don't need. And to encourage you, we actually need less hangers than we used to because we've gotten rid of so many clothes. And so there's a bunch of hangers up there that we don't use anymore, and we just got rid of, and they're ready to go to wherever we take them, whether it's a friend's garage sale or anything like that. And so even if you start a box like that, do one room in your house, do one space in your house, and then you just, check out your, keep adding things to that box. So I am just gonna go ahead and end our time with a little tour of our house. It's still kind of dark in here, but I'll turn on some lights. You're not gonna be able to see Elliot's room because he, fortunately, is finally sleeping. But anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and get up. And so I have not done any prep work, just to preface. Our house is just the state it was before bedtime, and I wasn't doing any cleanup before bedtime. So I'm gonna flip the camera. This is my desk space. And so again, it's not perfect, but for me, this is actually really good because I am a reader and I love having magazines and books and things like that. And this is like all of my stuff in a hub right here. So that's my desk. And then I'll show you my stacks. I just went through Elliot's books. So these are Elliot's stuff. So the stuff under the fireplace, that's the stuff that he is going to be keeping out here and enjoying. These books are going to his room onto the shelves in his closet. And then this stuff right here is getting rid of, and this is going on the shelves for now. And then later I'm going to rotate it out. He does have stuffed animals. Don't feel bad for him. Those are just extra ones that are cluttering space. So anyways, the rest of our living room is right here. This isn't normally here. It's my sandcastle competition trophy that I won in Cancun, and Elliot broke it yesterday, but it doesn't really matter because I don't really think I need to keep it. But anyways, then you can just see the rest of our house, like nothing. So simple. Here's my little reading spot in the morning, and then we just bought a car seat, so that's going out to the trash. And then our bookshelf there. So again, this is not like perfection, but again, progress. God, as I'm showing you, I'm like, it looks so much better at different times. So, but that doesn't matter. Being real. So this is our closet. I told you I was going to post a picture, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you. I borrowed clothes from a friend for Cancun, so those are not mine. But these clothes right here are my clothes for this season. They're things that I love and I wear often. And then these are the clothes that I couldn't part way with, but I'm deciding whether I'm going to keep or not. And then literally, like I told you, I just have some more clothes upstairs that are just summer capsule stuff. And then over here's my jewelry spot. I'm getting ready and packing up my pump to go in storage and my purse. And then our bed, which needs to be made. And then this is Tyler's desk. And then some returns that are sitting over there from like capsule stuff I bought for Elliot. So my husband's in the bathroom, so you won't see that. But then here is our dining room. And again, like it's so simple. We have a few random things on our table that are usually the random things are honestly my husband's getting ready to go back where they're supposed to go. But anyways, this is Elliot's new car seat, and then Tyler's bag that he takes to work. That's always where he puts it. And then, so this is our kitchen, and I hope I still get good reception in here. Tyler's taking a lot of supplements right now because of stuff that's going on in his health. A lot of you probably know about. But then otherwise, you can see I make bulletproof coffee every morning, and so my stuff's right there. But otherwise, like our stuff is pretty simple. And so, again, I just got back from a trip, so there's more stuff than there normally is, but, that's laying around that I still need to take care of. But I'm just showing you that overall, this is maybe not good for you guys, but for me, that has been, the place that we're at is a lot better than where we used to be. We used to have like just lots of clutter everywhere, like just random places, and it would drive me nuts. And it's gotten so much better now, and especially as I get those few last things taken care of after Cancun, I'll feel a lot better. But anyways, minimizing, it applies to so many things. It can apply to your stuff, whether you go through your kitchen stuff, your pantry, your clothing, your memento stuff. Even that, like one of the things that Marie Kondo talks in her book is about really with mementos and sentimental things. Like, are you keeping it because you love it and like you just like it brings you so much joy? Or are you keeping it because you're trying to, like, basically she challenges you to like not try to go back into the past and like just go through a grieving process of like, I'm really not in that season anymore, and I don't like look at this stuff regularly. I'm not looking at it, so why am I keeping it? And that really helped me too, because I was like, the things that I actually want to look at it, I want it to be a small amount of things so I can really enjoy them. And the rest of the stuff, I'm just going to get rid of. And so I got rid of so many things from college because of that. And then the other thing was with paper things, getting rid of things that you can store digitally safely is also really great, because a lot of times there's these paper things that we're keeping that we don't really even need at all. And so that's really helped us as well to get rid of a lot of stuff that's paper things. And those paper stacks just accumulate everywhere. And so, yeah, you can also obviously minimize with stuff on your schedule, but I'm pretty sure Laura will be talking more about that as we talk about like managing time and things like that. And so I hope this was helpful and inspiring. I've not arrived, which is why I haven't started my own podcast or blog or anything like that about minimizing. No, I won't ever be doing that, but I will share some of my favorite resources today and just post them on the group here. But I'd love to hear discussion of like questions maybe that you ask yourself when you're trying to get rid of things. And even if you guys are willing to be real, like I was just then, and post a picture of a space before and afterwards that you choose to, in this week, go through and minimize. I think that'd be awesome, just to inspire more of that. I think we as Americans collect a lot of things, and therefore we have to live in really big houses to have a lot of things, and it takes away from a lot of the joy that we can have in life, just in our memories and our time together. And so I don't mean that in a judgmental way or anything like that, because again, I said everybody is totally different. I just want to encourage you in your own process to find your own happy place with stuff. And if you want to read either of those books, I definitely suggest getting Audible. It's an app where you can listen to books that are audio books, and you can literally pay for a subscription. I think it's like $9 a month or something like that, and then you get 1 credit towards 1 audiobook a month. So you actually save a lot of money versus buying audiobooks regularly, because if you're buying actual audiobooks, I think it's closer to like $20 or $30 a piece, whereas on Audible you can just download it with your credit for the month. And that's helped me up my reading a ton, because I listen to them while I'm doing laundry or going on a run or doing anything random around the house. So I've started reading a lot more since Audible. So anyways, thanks for joining. When you decide to go through some spaces in your home, I encourage you to diffuse some Motivate, if you have it, the blend from doTERRA. It's amazing. And then also add some wild orange you can do Motivate or do wild orange and peppermint if you don't have Motivate. And I hope, that this is just a blessing to you and helps you in your journey as well. So thanks everybody for joining, and I hope you have a great Monday.